Hello, guitar players, and welcome to Best Beginner Guitar Lessons. Today is week 1. We're going to be starting something new here on my YouTube channel, Best Beginner Guitar Lessons Q&A. And I've got some questions sent to me from people who are just starting out on the guitar or been playing just a short time. And each week I'm going to take these questions and answer them here on my YouTube channel. So if you have any questions at all, something you're having trouble with in the beginning, just starting out, leave your questions down in the comments, and I'll be glad to address them next week in our video Q&A session. Today I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to go over some of the questions I've been receiving, and I'll try to answer them for you. First question was sent to me. It says, what is the optimal amount of time of practicing? Now that I'm locked down at home, I have a lot of time to practice. Is there such a thing as practicing too much? That is a great question. I talk about that a lot. And yes, it is. Practicing too much can be a serious problem. I recommend 10 minutes in each session. By doing it 10 minutes, your fingers will not get nearly as sore, because that's something that every beginner experiences, sore fingers. So take it 10-minute intervals and address those before you sit down. Know exactly what you're going to practice. Don't not practice a number of different things, but focus on one or two things you're wanting to learn or having trouble with. But 10 minutes a day. Now, if you have 10 minutes in the morning, that's fine. Maybe in the afternoon, you pick it up for another 10 minutes. But don't over practice by any means. That's the most one of the worst things you can do, especially in the beginning, because like I say, you're going to get a lot of finger soreness and get totally frustrated and not want to continue. So 10 minutes a day. Very good question. I have arthritis in my lower thumb and would like to know how I can do an F chord. Is there any way that doesn't, where I don't have to apply as much pressure to it? Another fantastic question, and I get this a lot. The F chord, played traditionally, is a very, very hard chord to play, because you have to hold the first two strings down on the first fret, okay? And then you add your second finger on the third string, second fret, and your third finger on the fourth string, third fret. What happens when you put these two fingers down, the first finger tends to want to lift, and then you're going to get dead note. So here's an easy way. We'll call F major 7. And wherever you see an F, you can play this. And all you have to do, forget about the first string, okay? Forget about it. Just play the second, third, and fourth string on the first, second, third fret. Okay? Second, third, and fourth string on the first, second, third fret. And for those of you that are brand new, frets are the metal bars here, going across. That's the frets. And when you're playing chords, you want to be as close to the fret as you can possibly be. Not on top of it, not way back here. Right next to the fret you're supposed to be on. So the F chord, you play with the first finger on the second string, first fret, second finger on the third string, second fret, third finger on the fourth string, third fret. You're not playing the first string. That's what they call F major, but you'll find it being a lot easier to play it. Okay? So, Frank, if you're having trouble with the F, I know what the arthritis problem is. I have some of that myself, and it can be a big problem. So this should help you not have to put as much pressure down, because you're not having to put that extra finger down and be able to bar the first two strings. Okay? I hope that helps. My guitar at times sounds odd, full of vibration, and not like properly tuned. Despite being tuned, what I think is properly with a tuner, it may be because of the high action of the strings. I'm thinking of realigning a truss rod with a wrench to fix it. What should I do? First of all, if you don't know much about repairing guitars, don't fool with a truss rod. Most guitars have a truss rod down running through inside the neck, and and you can get to it. A lot of times it's got a little cover here, or you can get to it from the inside. Use an Allen wrench. Comes with a guitar usually, and you can adjust it. But I don't recommend people starting out or don't have any experience in doing that. If you want to get your neck adjusted, take it to a local guitar shop that has a luthier guitar repair band. So I would not recommend doing that yourself. Says full of vibration too. Now that could be the truss rod loose. It'll make noise if it's loose inside that neck. It'll rattle. So you may have a truss rod problem. So keep that in mind, but bring it to a local music store. Let them adjust it. And you can get a complete setup where they go over the entire guitar, get the neck set right, get the saddle the right height, the string coming through the nut, this little white piece. They do a complete adjustment. Now that's fairly expensive, but for your problem, you might just need a truss rod adjustment. Okay? Next question. If I have a cheap guitar, will putting real high quality strings on it make it sound a lot better, or is it not worth the cost? That question is kind of hard to answer. I don't know what kind of guitar you have, but putting a better quality string on any guitar will make some difference in the way it sounds. It will help the sound of the guitar. However, if you've got an inexpensive guitar, maybe it came from Walmart, Target, some kind of department store, something like that, putting a better string on it will help a little bit probably, but not a great deal. But again, I'd give it a try. It surely won't hurt, and would just cost you the price of the strings. Hope that helps. I broke a fingernail on my picking hand. Should I just grin and bear it? I'll wait till it grows out. Or maybe I should invest in a finger pick. I don't like glue on fake nails, but I don't know if a finger pick is worth anything at all. Glenda, yeah, a finger pick. Matter of fact, I recommend if you're a finger picker, get you some finger picks. I recommend plastic finger picks to fit your fingers. Make sure they fit your fingers. But get some plastic finger picks. They'll be quiet. They won't make that much noise, and they'll really, really work better. It's okay to use your fingernails, but that's a common problem when using your fingernails. You tend to break them. So if you have a problem with breaking fingernails, get you some picks, plastic picks. Okay? Let's see. Is it only for the B major chord that you should try and mute the high E string, or also for other chords like the B minor, C minor, and C? Okay. Let's say for instance the B minor. On the B minor, which you don't have to mute the top string, but you want to control the pick and stay on the bottom 3 or 4 strings down here for the B minor, okay? So you're not having to mute the top string, just stay away from the top 3 strings and just play the bottom 3 on the B minor, okay? What was the other one? C minor, same thing. The B minor, right here. And then the C minor, same thing. Just down the bottom 3 strings, okay? And then on the C, what you want to do, now there you can mute, if you play in the C chord, you can mute the 6th string by just letting your finger on the 5th string just barely touch the 6th string. That's okay. You can do it that way. Muting the 6th string is okay on the C chord. But B minor and C minor, yeah, just hit the bottom 3 strings. You don't need to mute. Let's see, Jim. When I tune my cheap classical guitar, the strings fall out of tune themselves really quick. Why is that? first of all, a classical guitar, if you have a classical guitar, I recommend getting at least somewhat quality classical guitar, because they are one of the hardest types of guitars to keep in tune. As far as the strings go, you say they go out of tune really quick, that could be a guitar problem with the neck wanting to relieve too much, and as you tighten the string up, the neck will move a little bit, throwing it out of tune. Getting a quality set of strings, a good quality set of strings, and I recommend the high tension strings, classical strings, high tension. And the reason I say high tension is because they're not as soft as just a standard classical guitar string. And so they'll stay in tune a whole lot better. Professionals use them, high tension classical guitar strings. That should help your problem. But you may have a guitar problem cause it to go out of tune. The neck might be coming up a little bit as you tune, and then the more you tune, the more out of tune it's going to be. So hope that helps. May want to invest in a little bit better guitar. If you're playing classical guitar, you might want to buy a little better classical guitar. Again, I like to recommend starting on a steel string guitar. So much better. Better sound. You'll enjoy it better. Next question. Okay, I have an Epiphone. This is a good one. I have an Epiphone AJ200. That's a jumbo Epiphone, big guitar. That's sounding a little boxy. It has a solid top. Is there any way to make it sound better? And the answer to that is yes. The AJ200, I'm very familiar with the guitar. I used to sell those guitars for many years. I owned a music store for almost about 36 years, and we sold a lot of guitars. The AJ200 Epiphone, it's got that big box back here, big box, and jumbo they call it. And a lot of times the sound's getting trapped inside that box, and they just don't have a lot of projection. Try changing strings. Maybe try some Elixir strings on that. Maybe a medium gauge Elixir, and that might give you a little bit more volume coming out, a little bit better quality sound. But like I say, AJ200, they're known for keeping the sound a lot trapped inside the box, inside the body. But get you some Elixir medium gauge. That might help you a lot. Okay. Keep on going here. Let's see what we have. Okay, Pam. About picking. I use a pick. Probably always will. How much will I be limited? Absolutely none. I recommend learning to play with a pick. I use a .38 millimeter. Always have. You'll have to kind of try different picks to get used to one that you feel comfortable with. But I use a nylon pick because the nylon is quieter on the strings. It's not as loud as a plastic pick. And 38 is about the right thickness. Not too thick, not too thin. But a pick will not hamper you at all. And you'll get to where you can play and do anything you want with a pick as well as you can do with your fingernails, okay? This is kind of pertaining to something a little bit different. How do you get over stage fright? I find that even if I practice a piece 100 times, once I'm in the front of an audience, and it doesn't matter who or how many, I feel such stress about the fact that I might make some mistake or blunder that I end up almost assured with a self-fulfilled prophecy. I know the feeling. The first time I played in front of a small audience, it was very intimidating. But if you're prepared and you know the songs you're going to play, you know them well, you practice them till you got them down real well. Whether you're playing by yourself, solo, or you're playing with a little group, first thing, know your songs really well. And then when you start playing, just kind of think that you're back in your living room or your practice room, wherever you practice. See, I'm right there. That's right. And when you look out the audience, you don't have to look at individual people looking at you, watching you play. you can look straight out beyond top of the head, way in the back, and just take, and by not looking directly at the people, it won't be near as intimidating. Trust me, I know. If you do not make direct eye contact with all of them, especially the ones 5, 10, 15 feet away, and look above them, and think about when I'm in my practice room, in the living room at home where I practice, it's going to help you a lot. Just relax and enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Okay, maybe a couple of more. Why would you use an acoustic electric? I do it so I can hear myself play standing up outside. Acoustic electrics are great. They give you so much diversity because you can play it acoustically when you're outside with playing along with family and friends around the campfire or something like that. You can play it electrically when you're playing with other band members, maybe guys who have electric guitars, and you're inside a building, maybe like in a church group, something like that. So it allows you the versatility of playing electric with other people or outside solo. When you're playing solo, you don't need an amplifier outside. So dual advantage of the acoustic electric guitar. And I love acoustic electric guitars. I've had many of them over my lifetime. And one more is a nylon string guitar with steel strings preferred for playing fingerstyle. And the answer to that depends on what kind of music you're playing. If you're playing fingerstyle, the nylon, let me explain, the nylon strings will not have as much volume coming out from your guitar when you play it, and they're going to stretch a lot. Hard to keep in tune. I always recommend playing on steel string guitar. But if you have a classical guitar, what I would recommend is getting you some high tension, like I mentioned earlier, high tension classical strings, and they're a lot more apt for picking and getting a little bit more volume and staying in tune. Definitely will stay in tune better also. I hope that I've answered some of these questions and it's helped those of you that are written in with these questions. Again, I'm going to try to do, this is our first week, and I think it's going to be something really good that a lot of you as beginner guitar players will get a benefit of. If you're having any kind of problem like these people or something totally different, whatever it might be, with your learning guitar, leave your comments down in the comment section, your questions I should say, or comments. Whatever you'd like for me to cover in next week's lesson, I'll try to do another one next week and we'll see how this goes. If I get a lot of people participating down below with comments and questions that I can answer and help you with, we'll get this thing continued week after week. Once every week we'll meet like this. I've got a ton of lessons here. If you're brand new to the guitar, for beginners, check out my Magic 4 chords or 4 chords. I've got several videos on how to play guitar using 4 chords to play hundreds and hundreds of songs. You don't need thousands of songs. You don't need bar chords, scales, modes, none of that. When you're starting out, if you just want to play guitar and play it fast and be able to play songs, check out my 4 chords here on YouTube channel. I've got some great songs for beginners also here. Be sure and subscribe. Hit the red button down below and the little bell symbol, verification symbol. You'll be notified every time I put up a new tutorial here on YouTube. Like, share, but by all means, feel free to subscribe, and you'll get notified when I put up the next video. And I try to do that once a week. I've been teaching for over 40 years, and my goal is to help everyone that wants to learn how to play be able to have the opportunity to play. One other thing, be sure you have to play on a well-tuned guitar before you start any lesson. I recommend getting electronic tuners. The one like I've got here that clamps on the headstock, it just clamps right there, and you just turn it on. And what you do, when it lights up, and they all work a little bit different, but I like the digital type. And when you hit your string, as you might can see here, might not, turn around here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but it's going to come on E. Okay? And when you get it in tune, it's going to show green on mine. See? There it is, right there. E. Okay? And you do that for each string. They're so easy to use. You have to play on a well-tuned guitar. Yeah, that is an absolute must. So get your little electronic tuner. You can get them in your local music store or on Amazon or on the internet, different places. Need to get your tuner. It will be a big boost to your guitar playing, because you want to hear a properly tuned guitar. You want to hear the right notes, hear the right chords, and how they're sounding. One other thing, finally, before I leave, Capo. The Capo's made to change keys, but as far as I'm concerned, it's really a great tool for beginners. You just clamp it on your guitar, anywhere along here, whatever fret. It acts like this piece. As this, it moves up here, you can still play like you see. Play your normal chords, but you hear the highest raised up. Move it up again, you do the same thing. Play your normal chords, starting right here at the capo, just as if you were starting up here. What it does, it reduces the height of the strings closer to the fretboard, brings the strings down, and the further up you go, you'll see the frets get closer and closer together, so you don't have to spread your fingers out as much. So it's a great little tool for beginners starting out. Makes it much easier to play the chords, not as hard on your fingers, which that's a problem sometimes when you're first starting. But if you keep that 10-minute rule, 10 minutes practice every time you sit down, no more than that, you won't have that finger problem. But get your guitar capo. Okay, that's it for today. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Be sure and send those questions in. Whatever trouble you're having with learning, leave them down below. I'll be glad to answer them in next week's video. And subscribe, hit the red button, and hit the bell symbol, which is will notify you each time I put up a new tutorial. Till next time, let's go have fun playing some guitar.